The moon in Aries. A person enters existence through an energy centered on action, which gives them a strong sense of autonomy and initiative. This will be the basis from which they will operate as a protective filter for the other energies of their structure, which can be very different from it, and even opposed or contradictory. For this moon, there is a fantasy of castration and harassment linked to the emotional situation. The person caught in this imagery immediately creates distance in response to emotional stimuli, becoming defensive. This is just a prelude to an attack, or eventually fleeing. Isolation, marking territory, entering into hyperactivity are some of the possible responses that obviously also depend on the rest of the energies in the chart. A person with this moon, then, whether there is a strong emotional presence or when their security is threatened, reacts immediately in an Aryan way. They become hyperactive, make decision after decision, take initiative, rely on physical action, and eventually may become aggressive. This unconsciously affects situations such as arguments, fights, asserting independence, and a great display of physical energy. What defines this energy as a lunar mechanism is the appearance of a vicious circle. On one hand, the person is in a constant state of alert because they perceive they are always harassed and invaded, which they detest most on a conscious level. But on the other hand, that same situation becomes emotional. So when they are not attacked or invaded, when there is no clash of desires, they feel a great emotional void, as if they miss the type of burden they are accustomed to. Therefore, they provoke exactly what they defend against. And this is where the mechanism is established, in which lunar energy is recreated. Someone indifferent and distant, always saying, "do as you please," greatly unsettles the Aries moon and forces it to develop a broader and more mature integration of its emotional world. If the identification of consciousness with the mechanism is high, however, the person will end up provoking others in some way, needling them, arguing, invading their spaces until they get the response they need, or acting with such autonomy and disregard that others are compelled to intervene forcefully to limit them. Only in this way does the situation return to the familiar, and even though it may involve conflict, this is unconsciously safer for them than an unknown situation.